Please bless this
Radio.
place, this sanctuary, our beloved. Please bring us peace and protection. May all who enter be nourished with love. Hallelujah. Amen. Oh, blessed be allowed in. Hallelujah. Amen. Oh, blessed be so in. Please bless this space, sanctuary, all around. Beloved, bring us peace and protection. May all who enter be nourished with love. Hallelujah. Amen. Oh, blessed be allowed in.
Aloha. Good evening. This is Andrew Aloha live at the Sedona School of Temple Arts in Sedona, Arizona, establishing and maintaining right relationships through human values on freeconference.com, Skype, and Blog Talk Radio. And I want to thank you for being here. And I apologize because this is the first time we're doing this show. It's a new show. And the whole idea is to basically talk to businesses, local businesses, and introduce them, and then do like a mini reading of the business afterwards to help them out with some information that might be useful to them. So, that's kind of the whole scenario, the theme of the show. Anyhow, we have Nikki Faldi-Mole. We have Nikki Faldi-Mole. I don't know why. I keep wanting to say something different, but anyhow, that's what I said. We have Nikki Faldi-Mole and Robert Silber. Is that correct, Robert? Robert, can you hear us?
That's
okay,
right.
Great. Thanks. And where are you based out of, Robert?
Just planet Earth. I travel.
Oh, okay, so right now you're in travel mode, I take it.
I'm in Australia. Yep.
Okay, great. And depending on how our technology gets up and going, we may have a few other people that will be presenting as well. So anyhow, I also want to thank Neil Baker out of Los Angeles, one of our psychic mediums, and also Monica Ruiz out of Houston, Texas, another one of our psychic mediums, and tantrikas as well. Thank you, and thank you for being here, Neil and Monica. Aloha.
Aloha.
Hi.
Anyhow, I do want to go ahead and begin the show, and I also want to thank Gabe Terrain. Is that how you say your last name? He's actually video shooting this tonight, and hopefully everything's all going to come together, and we're going to have package it up and put it out on YouTube or something like that soon. So stay tuned for more action on that level. Anyhow, tonight's underwriters. I want to give a big aloha to Sedona School of Temple Arts at www.schooloftemplearts.org. The Sedona School of Temple Arts cultivates sexuality and conscious education for practitioners, teachers, and members all across North America. It will be hosting its 11th annual conference on sexuality and consciousness from May 4th to May 6th in Sedona, Arizona. Check the web, and by the way, and just to be more accurate, it's going to be over at the Cliff Castle Casino, or Cliff Castle Lodge in Camp Verde, which is nearby, near the area. Anyhow, you can check the website for ticket purchases and packages, and also you can check the website for sponsorships and volunteer opportunities if you want to go that route. It is also the home of Spiritual Image Productions at 2945 Southwest Drive. Stop by and visit us during our live show presentations. share some love, intimacy, and Kodak moments. And check out the calendar, the events page, and also the Sedona School Temple's Sedona Temple's events page for more functions and times and dates and so forth. Anyhow, we also have Revitalized Biogenic Water at www.revitalizedbiogenic.com. Born out of the Soviet space industry, Revitalized Water, the product of 30 years and billions of dollars of Russian research, is believed brings about more of the science of water together in one product than any other water available today. Well-defined, perfect crystal-shaped water enables rapid absorption and usefulness by our cells. It increases your osmotic drive by imprinting the water with a high amplitude frequency that assists the cells with a healthier foundation for nutrient uptake and release of toxins. It speeds up the delivery of nutrients into the cells, potentially increasing your energy. And then we have Stephen West at www.powerheal.com. By divine design, you can power heal yourself. Do you or any of your loved ones suffer from pain, depression, cancer, obesity, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, AIDS, inflammation, tumors, arthritis, broken bones, head injuries, or anything else? Do you want peace, love, joy, energy, fun, endurance, power, and inner beauty that is truly coming from within as well as without? Fast, proven, successful, and safe Power Heal methods through zero disease can help you stop pain, loss of energy, and disease in less time than taking pills. And then we have Neil Baker. Neil, is that you?
That's me.
Neil Baker at www.neilbakerpsychic.com. Neil Baker tunes into your vibrational energies, translating them with his talents as a psychic. He gets to the core of specific issues, providing you with deeper meanings and understanding in the course of action to follow. He tunes into the content of your soul, evaluating in terms of past life events and present life circumstances. He determines even deeper rooted layers of information that reveal meanings behind our present life's connections and their ultimate outcomes. And then we have Monica Rees. Monica, is that you? Yeehaw!
Yeah.
Houston, Texas, at www.psychicmediummonica.com. Monica Ruiz recently began her profession as a psychic medium and master Reiki healer in Houston, Texas. Although she's been accustomed to this activity since she was 3 years old, when she literally saw a ghost or boogeyman in her grandmother's closet. In her spare time, Ruiz also works as a nurse. And then we find that we do have Lori Lorich at www.femininewisdom.com. Sacred sexuality educator, Lori Lorich is a natural teacher who will guide you on a journey that integrates both ancient Eastern esoteric practices in discovery and with discoveries in Western medicine and science. She has developed a unique approach to healing and others. She knows her subject intimately. She listens mindfully and thoughtfully to each individual, cultivating their life force to help discover their bliss. And then we have Nikki Faldumalai at just kidding.
Try and spell that one.
No kidding. I know that's a good one to spell. And I do want to. I want to thank Ships and Salsa for being here. Thank you for stopping by. And then I don't know if you have any questions. 718 and I don't know 135700167. I don't know if you guys have questions, but we will be entertaining questions during the latter part of the interview process. So if you guys want to hang tight and just kick back and listen, then that'll be great. Thank you very much. Anyhow, welcome to the show, Nikki. Aloha.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Thank you very much for showing up. I know this is a busy time in your schedule for getting you out here, but I thought, well, this would be a good opportunity to bring you in, break in a new show, and also get some awesome information about the Sedona School of Temple Arts, which is also associated to the International School of Temple Arts as well.
That's right.
So it's a whole big gamut going on, and so we want to talk about the Sedona School of Temple Arts, the International School of Temple Arts, and I don't know, maybe the Sedona Temple, I'm not sure, but we can figure it all out. So, and then so let's go ahead and do that. And then we'll be bringing in Robert Silver as well, and to talk some more for some more support on that area. But just who is Nikki Faldumalai, and what's your position with the School of the Temple Arts?
I actually wear every hat in the book, and I came from corporate America. I worked in the biotech field. I studied as a scientist, went into marketing and advertising around that. Was recruited into the media realm and went into the newspaper business and multimedia and got in on the very early era of making DVDs of all things.
DVDs, wow.
So from that, I came into the wellness arena, and basically when the tech bubble burst, I decided to go west. So I went to California, had been in Washington, D.C. for 13 years, and decided to go into wellness, health, and healing, the alternative arts. And so I meandered there for about 10 years and then found my way once I became an empty nester and discovered Baba Dez Nichols, who was with the Sedona Temple. And I was attracted to that particular operation because he's a great marketer. He's visionary, and he's a pioneer in the field. So he needed what I had, and I needed what he had, and so we kind of came together and grew from Sedona Temple over the years into the International School of Temple Arts. And so basically, we have come from a grassroots basement kind of gathering into this multi-conference, multi-training international operation. We run 8 conferences a year around the world, and we have probably a dozen. We're about to expand to 16 different week-long intensive trainings, and we have now 2 apprenticeships that go on each year, and everything in between. So basically ISTA, which is International School of Temple Arts, is where I focus, and we've got faculty, many of which hopefully will be joining us on this call. Robert Silver is the first one. He's here. You're it, Robert.
Thanks for showing up, Robert.
So I thought maybe we could talk about, since this is a travel show, talk about what it's like to live on the road and do business. And basically, these guys are vagabonds. They go everywhere.
And that's exactly what I wanted to put to get out there and I haven't refined and defined this show yet. And so, you know, I'm happy to have you guys help me do that process. So that's fine too, no problem.
Yes. Well, there's a lot to the psyche when you're basically traveling and living out of a suitcase and, you know, locating from one place to another, not really knowing whether you're going to get paid or not. I mean, this is the alternative healing arts, and that's not necessarily the best business practices. So it's been an interesting ride, and we've made some great strides, and we've also taken some hits along the way.
Yeah. So now let's take a step back, and you can be as general or detailed as you want. So the Sedona Temple, the Sedona School of Temple Arts, the International School of Temple Arts, what's their mission, their goals, their process, their programs? What are they all about?
Well, it's a facility that, in a sense, the business words is we run conferences and trainings around the world, and we educate people, bring people who are into the healing arts into another realm or another dimension of their practice, adding different modalities to their work. And Robert can speak to some of the specifics around the sexuality piece, but we do focus on, you know, moving energy and breathing, movement and sound, the tantric arts, the shamanistic arts. Basically, anything can be brought in, and there are various modalities and experts that basically mix and match to suit whatever their charge is in life. So, I don't know, Robert, do you want to enter into this conversation at this point?
Sure.
And hang on a second, Robert. I do want to give a shout out to Robert Carey Phillips. Thank you for stopping by. So, Robert, aloha and welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, aloha to you. I've lived in Hawaii for many years, so I always enjoy when people say aloha.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Mahalo. So
where are you located? Where are you located at now, Robert?
I'm in Myocum, which is outside of Byron Bay in northern New South Wales, Australia.
And you're getting ready for a conference now? Is that what I'm hearing? Understanding?
No, I was here for a conference, and then was teaching a training following that here in Australia, and then I'm headed out to Bali at the end of this month, and we'll be having a symposium and a training there at the beginning of April.
Awesome. So go ahead. Whatever you want to impart to us, I'm grateful of listening to you.
Well, could you be more specific and let me know what you like?
So where are you coming from, and where are you based out of, and how did you get involved with this community, these people, this corporation, this company, and then what's your role, and then how do you work with all that?
Yeah, well, I guess first I would just direct people, if they're listening, if they want to check it out, my website is called conscioussensuality.com. So that's www.conscioussensuality, all one word, .com. And basically, I got involved in doing this work out of a background of being involved with Zen meditation and massage and yoga. And then in my personal life, I realized that I wanted to work a lot more in relationships and intimacy, sexuality, communication. So I got involved with doing different types of peer counseling or co-counseling. And that led me into eventually doing work in the sexuality field, where my focus is really on sexual healing and empowerment and helping people to discover what material that they have, what emotional blocks they have, to work individually with clients. Coaching, I do a lot of Skype coaching. And then I also teach my own workshops, and then I teach training through the School of Temple Arts, International School of Temple Arts. And I'm very focused on what are the skills people need to have not just successful relationships, but to have successful families and successful communities, so that we can live in the present moment with each other, and be able to speak our truth without any fear. And that is particularly an issue around sexuality, because a lot of people feel a lot of fear, shame, and guilt around their sexuality, and that's really keeping them from being in the present moment and being able to connect more deeply with those in their lives, with their loved ones.
So are you saying, if I understand you correctly, you are a staff member of ISTA? Is that what I hear you saying?
No, I'm not a staff member. I think Nikki is the only. I don't know if there's other staff members at this point.
We actually don't have any staff. We
Yeah.
collect experts and we collaborate with them. We call some of our folks, Robert included, ISTA faculty, and what they do is they come in, they have their own businesses and they run their own show, but they come in and they share and collaborate with what we're up to. And sometimes we come together and teach together with other people. And so we're trying to start a new paradigm in having people work with each other instead of compete against each other, and really walk the path of one consciousness and universal love.
So it's kind of like a co-op of teaching. Is that what I hear you saying?
Sure, yeah. And sometimes we teach same programming, other times it's bringing in unique skills.
Okay. Go ahead, Robert.
I was just going to say, yeah, it's evolving, and my interest particularly is in sustainability. So I've been very focused on working with communities and people that are very focused on sustainability and looking at how do we need to communicate, how do we need to work and heal with our emotional bodies so that we can really be in a much deeper place of trust and connection with more people.
Got it. So let me ask you this, Robert. What have been some of the more pronounced and memorable conferences that you attended, and why?
Well, I think the most recent one in Australia was very powerful. There's quite a few different people who are presenting on a lot of different subjects. This year we just recently had our first youth panel, which was very inspiring to have teenagers and people in their early 20s talking very candidly, and from a really good place of responsibility and joy and openness, talking about sexuality, which I think is a very positive step, because when I see people that have been having issues and problems in their relationships for decades, just think, what if they had actually gotten information and gotten support and connection when they were teenagers? It could have saved them a lot of heartbreak in their lives.
Exactly. No kidding. And so, and what do you think made that a successful venture for yourself personally?
Well, it's successful in the sense that I have an opportunity to network and connect in with people who are like-minded and who are interested in my viewpoint and the skills that I bring. So, it's an excellent opportunity just to connect in.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so right now what we're kind of like juggling around, because we have some other presenters that are planning on being here, and we have a couple people that are just now showing up. So what's your future intentions for this with ISTA?
Well, my intention is to continue doing this work with people that I feel alignment with, and I am really interested in working with people who want to do this work cooperatively. So different people come in with different skills, but then we can offer conferences and trainings that are really holistic and broad-based, that you get a lot of different perspectives and people that have different skill sets coming in.
Okay, and so like in the long-term effects for the overall whole, what do you think your intentions are or could be or will be?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think there's a lot of work to be done in this area, and by having a very solid group of people who are committed to working together, there's a lot of opportunity to do more than you can currently do as an individual. And like I said, I've been a community-minded person for a long time, working together. And when we heal some of these issues around emotions and communication, and we can start working a little bit more cooperatively as opposed to hierarchically, it really shifts the paradigm and shifts the opportunities for us to step a lot more into our power, and a lot more into our joy, and that's what I'm really interested in.
Awesome. So in other words, people coming together, working together, and working in their bliss as a whole rather than separately and individually and whatever else.
Yeah, because once you actually really start to clear out some of the emotional blocks, you actually realize the level at which we really are deeply connected with each other. And once you are in that place, a lot more is possible. So, for me, for example, I really like living with more than just a nuclear family. I like living with more people more closely, and then people obviously need to have tools to manage that. And for most people, they don't really have any experience of that. So, I personally believe that's where the world is headed. That we've had about 100 or 150 years of being, in nuclear family, and most of human history we've lived much more collectively, tribally, and I think environmentally that's where we're going to have to be. And these are a lot of the tools I think that will help us on the social level as we move towards more sustainability.
So that's interesting that you would say that. Well, first of all, before I go there, how do you define nuclear family? What's your definition of a nuclear family? Because when I do these shows, I have people from all over the world literally that listen to these shows. So how do you define nuclear family?
Well, nuclear family I define as having a mother and a father and children, not having aunts, uncles, not having grandparents, not having unrelated people living in the household. That's and really in much of the United States and much of the industrialized world at this point, it's really less than that. It's oftentimes just a single mother or a single father, but in most cases a single mother who might have one or two kids, and you're living at least several miles, if not more, from other people that you actually know. That's very isolating. That's very different than how humans have lived for most of human history. And it's created a lot of strain on people emotionally because they're just simply not getting the connection that they want.
There's not enough support with the other dysfunctional families that you're talking about, is what I hear you saying.
Exactly.
So now,
Exactly.
and that's interesting that you would say also that not only is it essential and important and vital for us to learn to communicate intimately and not just socially and professionally, but to communicate intimately due to environmental purposes and purposes of being able to survive not only here on the planet but in space as well. Are you still with us?
Well, I don't know so much about space. I'm still with you. I don't know so much about space, but I know on planet Earth, that if we're gonna heal the planet, if we're gonna have sustainability, if we're gonna move into an age where we're using a lot less fossil fuels, we're gonna have to work a lot more cooperatively and use communication technology and to use technology like the internet, more than just relying on using a lot of energy to maintain society, which right now we're using a completely unsustainable amount of energy to maintain society because we're living so far apart, both geographically and just also emotionally, very isolated.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Robert, we're losing you for some reason. Hang on a second. I don't know. Dez, is that you?
Yes, it's me.
Well, I don't know. Wait, I think you may, I don't know. Monica, can you hear me? Okay, because what I think is happening is that we're cut off the radio show because you're calling into the Skype show. So, is there a way you can call first of all, add freeconferencing.0075 as your contact, and then you dial that contact, and then on your call menu there's a place for it says dial pad. It says show dial pad. You click on that, and then you punch in 245-164#, and that'll get you into the conference call, so we can hear you on the radio show as well as here. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Here, I'll put it.
Yeah, so it's not a regular.
You just kicked off the show, Des.
Yeah, yeah, you kicked here. Hang on. That's the contact you add to your Skype, and then 245-164# is the access code. If you can call in.
Okay, I'll put that into my contact.
And if you can't get a hold of us there, then call back here again if you have to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
Monica?
Neil, is that you?
That's me. I think we just got isolated.
It's okay.
It's always like Star Wars. I feel like I'm in Darth Vader's ship.
Okay, I apologize. Okay, so what's going on?
Talking about Darth Vader?
What? How did Darth Vader get into this conversation? Holy cow, Batman.
Yeah, we were left out, so we were having our own conversation.
This really is a travel show. Holy cow, Batman. Well, anyhow, we Baba Dez, who's the owner.
He's the founder.
He's the founder of the Sedona School of Temple Arts and the International School of Temple Arts. He's going to be calling in and right now, and hopefully we'll be able to talk with him for a bit as well. So, Robert, I apologize because we missed the part where we were talking about space, and also not only having to learn to shift our ways of intimacy and relationship and sexuality and the social network and professional network, not only because of being able of environmental purposes here on Earth, but also even when we start traveling and living in space, that's going to be very crucial for that part of our lives as well. So, and you said you didn't know anything about that part, about the space part, but you're definitely connected into the arena of changing these lifestyles due to environmental purposes. Is that what I heard you saying?
Yeah, I mean, my background is my background's doing environmental work. So, like I said, I don't know anything about space, but I can tell you on the planet that I think we're going to be shifting into a period where people are going to be living more closely together again, and we need to learn or relearn some of the social personal technologies, the communication, the emotional technologies. And really it's a new thing because so often in the past we've just relied on hierarchical strategies of dominance and power over. And we're actually looking at a new era where, you know, everyone is independent and we're actually really choosing to work together.
Nice, thank you. Okay, so I apologize because right now I'm working with Baba Dez to get him in here as well. One of the questions that I had earlier that I wanted to ask you, Robert, is who are some of the more notable facilitators that you work with, and what's been your experience with them, and you know how did all that round out for yourself?
Well, I mean, I've worked with a lot of different people in the political world, in the environmental world, and then for the last several years in emotional relationships, sexuality broadly. You know, but I don't see very many people doing this work holistically because, you know, people look at you know, their individual lives and their individual problems, and they may not be actually connecting the dots. And so, you know, we have an economy that runs on experts, not so much on people that are holistic and bringing these threads together. So, you know, I think that's one of the challenges is how do you make it so that it's economically viable to do this work when, you know, someone may come to a workshop and they just think, how do I have a better relationship? How do I have a better sex life? You know, how do I learn tools to communicate? And they may not be thinking about these larger issues. You know, but that's what I'm focused on.
Thank you. Okay. Right now we're working with technical glitches. The state of the art technology in this day and age. So, but you got to deal with it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your support there now. So Nikki, what's the future of ISTA and the Sedona School of Temple Arts?
That's a loaded question for anyone in this day and age. We are constantly evolving, and it could be anything. I would like to say that we're going to be expanding, or at least curtailing some of the chaos that diverts attention from doing a good job. We've got 9 faculty at the moment, and we have probably several thousand people who follow our work and have woven in and out of the various events that we've put on. My goal is to get the faculty to a place where they are working together, like Robert said, in such a way that it really doesn't have to come back to the hub anymore, because I basically am acting as the hub, and it's very challenging to try to keep all of these balls in the air at the same time. And so these people that come in and work well with little pods of other people is ideally the way that we would start to sprout off these other conferences and trainings and events around the world, so that we don't necessarily have to be the franchise owner, but we're just a facilitator that's populating the planet with these people that are learning how to interact and get along and be healthy in their lifestyle.
Can't we get along?
Can't we just get along? Yes, and you can imagine that the sexuality field is very controversial, and so we take hits from all sides, and it's been a real challenge to find these people that can work together and maintain the force field as a shield when necessary, and remain open to, you know, loving everyone.
Awesome. So I tell you what I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a halftime break right now, so we can try to get some glitches resolved. We're going to go ahead and play. Let me see. Amon Ava. Oh no. Oh no, we already played that one. Time out. Let me find a song. Rompy Rompy by 3 Trees from his album Mideastern Nights Dreams. And we're going to send out love, blessings, healings, angels of light, and love to all the people here in the chat rooms and the phone lines, to all our family and friends, to all the people involved with ISTA and with the Sedona School of Temple Arts, to all their family and friends, to Gabe here and his family and friends, and to his car, and to my car, and to all our cars, believe it or not, to the President of the United States, and then to anyone and all else in need. Anybody, you guys want to add anybody to that?
All the peaceful people around the world.
All the peaceful people around the world.
Step up.
That's it. That's it. Rompy by Three Trees, and we're going to come back. We're going to come back hopefully with talking to Baba Dez, some more with Robert Siller, and then also Nikki Faudumalai, and then eventually we're going to be talking to Monica Ruiz and Neil Baker, who are going to provide a mini reading on this whole program and see how that's going to work out. Rompy by Three Trees. Baba Dez, you made it.
Here I am.
Holy cow, Batman, how did that happen?
I told you this guy's a manifester.
What do you know?
Well, aloha and welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Great to be here.
Awesome. How do you call yourself? Baba Dez? Dez? Baba?
Dez.
Dez.
Dez works
So,
short. Dez, it's actually short for desert.
Desert. Oh. And how did you come across that name?
Desert's a power name. It's a name that I got when I was a young man. I used to go out to the deserts in California, and so it just kind of stuck as a power name.
Nice. So, thank you for being here. Where are you at now?
Right now, I'm on the North Island of New Zealand, and I'm here with a group of people. We're supporting younger people and to learn the skills of being a teacher of the ISTA training.
Nice. And what does that entail, ISTA training? What does that mean to you?
Well, what it is if you had a week, if a person had a week to spend with some instructors, and you were going to spend 1 week to shift your consciousness into oneness consciousness, what would that week look like? And so that's really what the training is. It's where a group of individuals get together for a week and basically rewire their neurology into one of ease and freedom.
Awesome. And right now you're doing a training there in New Zealand. Is that what I hear you saying?
That's right. Yeah, there's 10 people from around the world that are learning the skills and the tools and the embodiment of that awareness and that presence to guide others there.
Nice. And let's take a step back a little bit, Dez. How long have you been doing this, and how did you get involved in this whole process?
I've been doing this work and teaching this work for about 27 years. And it's an integration of what it means to step into our full potential as human beings, as divine human beings. And so I feel like, humanity's on this path of conscious evolution. And, we've been evolving since we were, in the caves, you might say, and so consciousness has been evolving for thousands of years. And so, what is divinely, humanly possible, and what is the optimum experience that we can attain as human beings? And so that's really what my journey is about, and it's what ISTA is about. It's about the temple arts and how to support humanity to live in ease, peace, and freedom, and co-create heaven on earth.
Nice. So earlier I was doing some research, and I remember hearing about how you came across putting together the Sedona School of Temple Arts and the Sedona Temple. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, it's been a progression. It's like Sedona's a beautiful place, and it's a powerful place on the planet. And so, it's people have been gathering there for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, and it's a space for people to come into their wholeness and use the earth energies and to connect with spirit and learn how to be human beings. So, Sedona has become kind of like one of, if you will, a new age spiritual center on the planet. And so it was just a logical place to create a place for people to come together and learn how to communicate and how to live in ease and power and freedom together. So that's the intention behind the Sedona Temple and the School of Temple Arts, is what are the things we need to learn so that we can get along together and create a very, very beautiful existence together.
Awesome. So, where's this going now? Where's the Sedona School of Temple Arts going now? And where do you want it to end up in the near future?
Well, it's for me, the temples exist inside of each of us. We're all divine temples if we choose to claim that, if we choose to be that. So, if you look at the possibilities, and we're all basically divine beings, and we're all embodiments of that divine temple of divinity, then how do we actualize that? So, as far as what's going on with Sedona Temple now and the School of Temple Arts there in Sedona, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I was very focused on that dream and that vision in the early part of this century, the early 2000s. And then I definitely felt a pull and a calling to take this message worldwide. And so for the past 5 years, I've been traveling around the world, and that started the idea for the International Schools of Temple Arts. And so that brings all the different schools of consciousness and right living together under an organization or let's say a movement that can bring humanity together for the embodiment of divine on the planet. So, right, we kind of put ideas out there and we offer invitations as individuals, and where our dreams and our visions overlap with other people's dreams and visions is where movements begin and where they're started and where they take hold. So it's really a movement in consciousness. And I feel like because I've only been in Sedona for 1 month out of the year over the last 5 years or so, I love coming to Sedona. I love sharing. I love teaching. I love, being there. And yet, I'm not really living in Sedona, and I feel like it's people living in Sedona. It's up to them to create and to maintain the temple that's based there in Sedona. So, I do own some properties there, which right now house the temple and the school. And those properties are actually on the market because I'm feeling moved to live by the ocean now. So, hopefully, ideally, someone will come and buy the school and temple, or the community will buy the school and temple and continue on creating this gathering place for people to live love and live life.
Awesome. So I'll tell you what we're going to do now, Dez. I have a number of callers here online, and we're going to go ahead and bring them on. And I don't know if they have any different questions, but we're going to go ahead and entertain them and see where that comes up. If you're okay with that.
Great.
Aloha, area code 718. You're on the air.
Hi.
Who we talking to? How'd you hear about us, and where are you located at?
Just on the internet, just browsing around.
And what's your name?
Celine.
Serene, and where are you located at, Serene?
No, Celine.
Oh, Celine.
Yeah.
And where are you located at? Excuse me?
New York.
New York. And did you have a question for Dez or Nikki or somebody else?
Yeah, anyone who's willing to take the question. Yes, I have. Oh boy, I'm trying to relocate to a temporary place because of my current circumstances.
Celine.
Yeah.
Now, this question it should be directed to somebody from the staff in terms of them answering the question or concerning their business. Is that what we're talking about?
Can you repeat that?
I apologize. This is not the Golden Age Psychic Show. This is the Golden Age Psychic Travel Show, and it's a whole different show that we're starting as of today, and we're talking to businesses about their nature and why they're here and what they promote, and then we're going to be doing a psychic reading on them afterwards later on. So does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I guess.
And we will be doing the Golden Age Psychic Show next weekend. If you want it next Friday, if you want to come in then and ask a question on that regard.
Oh, okay. That's good enough. I'm sorry, though.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
Aloha.
Okay. Aloha. Back to you.
Okay, so we have one more caller. Aloha, area code 951, you're on the air.
Hi, I guess I didn't hear the first part of it. Now, what's this? I mean, I am going to be starting a business. I guess I didn't get the first part of it. Now, can you explain exactly?
I apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I think maybe there was a glitch in the communications, and I apologize about that. But
Okay.
this is not the Golden Age Psychic Show. This is the Golden Age Psychic Travel Show. So we're talking to businesses, local businesses, about their products and services and what makes them unique.
Oh. Okay. Well, I haven't started the business yet, so I guess it wouldn't pertain to me yet.
Okay.
So.
And if you want to call later on when you get your business up and going, maybe we can talk about that. Otherwise, we're doing the Psychic Show next Friday.
Sure. Okay. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Aloha. Okay, so with that in mind, I apologize. We had some miscommunication going on. So anyhow, a lot of people like the Psychic Show. We do it once a month, and we have a lot of people that come in from all over the world, literally, that like to get reading from us. But so okay, so well, go ahead. Well, okay, Des, what's it like for you to travel and do this work, and what are the benefits for you from all this, and also for the people that are attending these conferences?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like what we're dealing with and what's happening is basically humanity wants to know, people want to know how they can live a beautiful life. And so that's really what the School of Temple Arts are about. The Schools of Temple Arts are about all the tools and technologies that support people to live a happy, healthy, connected life. Physical health, emotional health, relational health, financial health, all of those things. And so that's really what we're into sharing. We're sharing people how to get more present, how to be more embodied, how to be more in their hearts, how to really function as a functional human being. And one of the things that is the biggest obstacles that humanity is dealing with is the place where we're not able to really show up for ourselves, and we're not really able to love ourselves, let alone love each other. So that's really what the essence of this work is about. That's what the Temple Arts are about, is how do we unscramble basically the conditioning of a dysfunctional neurology, which we're all born into, and how do we learn to upgrade our software, so to speak, so that we are now functioning with a neurology that supports health and abundance and healthy relationships and ease and freedom and beauty in our lives. So that's the intention. And so people are learning how to come to terms with that and how to honor themselves and create the lives that they want.
Awesome. And how do you know this, Des? How do you know that you're getting results? What's happening that's allowing you to know that you're in the right direction?
Well, I see the results in my own life, but I guess when it comes to traveling and teaching, it's working with thousands of people who are having better lives. They're having better relationships. They're having better health. More success in their businesses, more success in their lives in general, and that's really the bottom line, is how much more successful are people and how happier are people when they come home to themselves.
And what are like one or two examples, like, and you don't have to name names, but one or two examples of where people have come up to you and said, "Hey, Des, this conference has been amazing, and because of this, I changed my life like this, this, and this." What are one or two examples of that?
Well, one common example is people feeling like they don't have enough love in their lives, or they're not having a good sex life, or they're having financial challenges, and so. It's always the same thing. It's the fact that we're not able to feel deeply, first of all, into who we are and what we really want. We have ideas of what we think we want in our lives, but that's really different than authentically what we really want in our lives. So if we can get out of the story and really feel what it is we truly want, then how do we bring consciousness and our power, our personal power, into alignment so that we can actually manifest what we want. So, I mean, you know, it goes on with people that are getting more in touch with themselves and able to communicate their truth to their partners, to their business partners, to their families, to their children, to their parents. And in that clear, loving communication, then what happens is people are able to show up and create with you what it is that you want, because it's also what they want. And you do that by being able to feel.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now let me ask you this, Des. I believe it's a documentary, Sex Magic. Is that an extension of this work?
Well, you know, the documentary Sex Magic is a film that was originally, I started this, I hired some camera people to create some footage about the work that we're doing around the temple arts and sacred sexual healing. And what happened was the people that were filming got very excited about the project, and they wanted to make a documentary, and they wanted to, it turned out to be more of a documentary of a couple of years of my life journey. And so it shows my lifestyle as a spiritual teacher, as a sacred sexual healer, and it also takes a glimpse into my life and my relational challenges. And so it not only shows the work, but it also shows how to deal with the things that come up in ordinary real life around relationships and challenges around relationships, and where we're being met and where we're not being met by people we love, and how to basically show up for ourselves and keep offering that invitation for communion and love. So it gets people feeling and thinking about a lot of very core issues about how we're living our lives and how we restrict our possibilities and our choices in our lives. So it's a great example of living out of the box and being able to really create your life the way you want it, rather than the way it's been shoved down your throat.
Good point. So now, if people want to get a hold of this video, and also if they want more information about ISTA, the Sedona School of Temple Arts, where do they go to for that?
Okay, now there's a couple websites. There's a lot of information on my website, which is babadez.com. That's BABADEZ.com. And you can also go to schooloftemplearts.com. And through both websites, there's links to a place where you can order the video, you can order a CD, you can order a book, you can order all kinds of products and tools to support you on your journey.
And thank you very much. Now, I also remember, Nikki, you guys have a membership club. Is that correct?
We have a membership website.
Website?
Pay a monthly fee and not download. You can view videos of past conference presentations.
So you can view videos of past conference presentations.
Yeah, so there are hundreds of hours of experts talking about all aspects of the sexuality field.
Awesome. So I tell you what, is there anything else that you guys left out that we haven't talked about that you want to put out there right now?
Well, I think so.
Yeah, I just want to mention that there's a lot of different modalities, and there's a lot of different schools and lineages that are addressing consciousness and healing on the planet. And I feel that the largest wound that humanity is dealing with is our sexual wound, our sexual wounding. And it's part of what creates so much confusion for people in relationships. It's what creates so much separation. It's at the core of loneliness. It's at the core of heartbreak. And so I feel that by dealing with this core wound around our sexuality, that we're going to unravel a lot of challenges and a lot of problems in our lives. If you just take one moment and think about your first sexual experience. And for most people, when they think about their first sexual experience, they don't think about truly what their first sexual experience is, because our first sexual experience is actually our conception. It's actually what happened when our mother and father came together and had sex and manifested us in the womb of our mothers. And that's really where the wounding starts, because not that many people were actually consciously conceived by their parents. Maybe if we were lucky, our parents wanted to have a child. That's really different than actual conscious conception. Conscious conception is a whole amazing rite and ritual that actually calls a child in. And there's a conscious awareness that happens at the time of conception where your parents actually can feel your presence coming into your mother's womb. So, it's this severe disconnect that humanity is healing around our sexuality and our consciousness, that when we heal this wound, we're able to live all of life with more consciousness. And if we had parents that actually brought that level of consciousness into their ability to actually conceive us, then we'd be starting the whole life experience in a very different way than most of us do. So again, some people think, sacred sexuality and sexual healing, that's not important, that's not a big deal, that's not significant to me. But the truth is it's significant to everyone on the planet. And you can deal with things incrementally. You can look at your financial challenges, your relationship challenges, your health challenges. But what I realize is they're all connected to this sexual wound. So why not address the core problem and let the consciousness step in rather than beating around the proverbial bush, so to speak, and not really going for what the core issue is, which is a deep wound in our sexuality.
I agree with 100%, Des. First of all, a few years ago, I read a book by John Bradshaw. I'm assuming that you've heard of him, on toxic shame. And according to his stats, from what I was able to assess, 96% of the population in the United States alone has been abused in one way, shape, or form or another. And with that means there's sexual dysfunction, there's family dysfunction, all kinds of dysfunctions going on because of that. And since then, I have come up with a program that there's a lot of psychologists and psychotherapists deal with what you call inner child techniques, where you meet your inner child and you heal your inner child. Well, I've gone even further, where you go in and I do an inner womb technique, where you go in and do healing around the birthing process as well, and the mother that's involved with that. And it's very effective and very powerful.
Yeah, well, there's all kinds of tools and techniques and rituals that support us in the healing. And the bottom line is to start the journey and to start reclaiming our power and coming back into wholeness. And once you start the process, you start realizing the relevance of what this work is really all about. So, John Bradshaw's amazing. Healing the Shame That Binds You is the name of that book. It's a wonderful book. And there are many other books that include many of the other temple arts, that include everything from permaculture or organic gardening all the way to empowered nonviolent communication and that kind of thing.
Awesome. And Nikki, did you say you had something else you wanted to add to this?
I was just going to add that since this is a travel show, maybe Des could speak to being a traveling teacher and how that affects his lifestyle and
so Nikki wants
really is home.
Nikki wants to know what your life as a traveling traveling practitioner are.
Well, it is kind of like a traveling salesman or whatever. What I'm selling is I'm selling love. And it's interesting because how do you put a value on something like that? So, but the main thing is what I pay attention to is one of the reasons why I started traveling from being in Sedona all the time was because I was listening, and that's how love was moving me, and that's how spirit was moving me. So my experience traveling around the world for the last 5 years has been amazing. I've been divinely supported by so many people and organizations that are hosting me around the world to hold space, to support, to inspire, to guide. And so it's been really amazing and really beautiful, and I'll continue to do that as long as Spirit moves me. I can feel this place for me personally, where I'm feeling like I'm going to want to slow down a little bit next year and stop and maybe spend some time in one place for a while and just feel into what my next step is, what my next calling is in my life. And so I can really feel that changing for me. And it's a moment by moment thing and living in the moment.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think what we're going to do is now. Is there anything else, Nikki, or is that it?
No, that's it.
Okay. Is there anything else, Baba or Dez?
Well, there's it's like there's so much to share, but I think the bottom line is I just want to support all the listeners out there to feel deeply into the truth of their lives, and what is it that you can do in every moment to receive yourself deeper and to have the most amazing life you can, and really stop and feel into the desire of your heart, the desire of your belly, and the desire of your body, to really show up as an empowered being and really give yourself permission to live the divine life that you're being given to live. So thank you for the opportunity, Andrew.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. But we're not done yet. Don't go away yet, because I have Neil Baker out of Los Angeles, who's done a number of readings for a number of celebrities. And then I also have Monica Ruiz out of Houston, Texas, who also is a reader, a psychic medium. She's also a tantric practitioner. So I tried to get her out here for the conference in May, but I think she's already got stuff going on. But we're going to bring them on now and have them do, and this is what is going to be unique about this show, is that I'm going to have them do some mini readings on the business, on you guys, and see if there's some stuff that might be helpful for you guys further down the road that you can utilize to help expand, explore, and do something better or different or whatever. So, aloha, Neil and Monica.
Aloha.
Hello.
So anyhow, we have Baba Dez, Dez on the line, and also Nikki from the ISTA and also the Sedona School of Temple Arts. So, Neil, I tell you what, let's go like this. Dez, what was the initial date of the Sedona School of Temple Arts, or the Sedona Temple, in its creation? When did it actually manifest, either into consciousness, vision, or some kind of paper? When did that happen, that you can remember?
I'd say it was probably sometime around 2004.
Okay, and do you have an exact date for that?
Oh, I'm sorry, I do not.
What about a month?
It's like I'm not going to be able to supply that for you. Sorry.
Okay. So let's go like this. When was its inception? When did it actually become formally inaugurated or a business?
Well, I think we have an exact date for when ISTA was actually formed as a non-profit organization. Nikki, do you know what that date is?
I think it was June of 2007.
June 2007.
Okay.
What day?
I'm trying to remember. You caught me off guard.
Because there's the date that we filed the papers, and then there's the date that we got approval from the federal government. I mean, there's a lot of different different dates.
Do you remember either of those dates?
Time is pretty arbitrary, Andrew.
Okay.
Well, Andrew, let me say, what's it called? It's called the Sedona School of Temple Arts, or else the International School of Temple Arts?
Yes, there's two names.
Yeah, there's actually two different names.
Well, let me tell you what's going on in terms of the numerology and the name of your institution. When you deal with Sedona, the word Sedona, you're actually modifying the energy of that word into the number 4, which is going to be the heart chakra and the center of energy. Nikki mentioned the hub. And when we talk about the hub, in terms of the wheel, we're talking about the center of the chakra. Now, somebody else mentioned the nucleus family, which is really the center of the family, but the very term nucleus is something that is in the center that needs to be added upon. So when you talk about the nucleus of something, you're actually talking about the center of something where there's meant to be an addition. So you're growing this concept of the nucleus family into an expanded energy. Now we get into the attitude of the expanded chakra of the body. And when we get to the word international, now that morphs into the number 8, which is the fourth chakra times 2, which is contingent on the attitude of growth. The entire numerological addition of International School of Art becomes the number 6, which is the 6th chakra, which is the visionary energy. Now, all of that really vibrates brilliantly in terms of the concept of what you're trying to establish. However, we also get into this terminology of how you're giving birth to the idea of the family of the father of psychology, Freud, who based everything upon sexuality, and then going into the origin of time, which is based upon conception. But as we move into the world of sexuality and we get in touch with ourselves, and we do so holistically, we have to gather all of our chakras together with the seedling of sexuality, and how sexuality becomes symbolic, esoteric, emotional. I mean, when we talk about sexuality, we're just not talking about the expression of orgasm. We're talking about the expression of sexual language, which we also get into the form of relationships and business. So if everything is really centered in the hub of sexuality, but it expands, the definition of the very word sexuality is going to morph into higher elements of thinking. But I can say this in terms of the number system. International School of Temple Arts does come to a 33 equals 6, which is brilliant. Now, Sedona itself morphs into the number 2, which is the sexual chakra. And that energy alone is vibrant. When you put Sedona together with International, you get in the number 8, which is significant because now we're in the element of higher transcendent being. The important thing about this June in 2007, June is actualized as the 6th month, which is going to be the third eye chakra. So it resonates. It actually resonates with the energy of time. I also want to say one more thing about the movement to the ocean that I forget his name, who's talking about he wants to move to the ocean now.
Yeah, that's Dez, Neil.
Dez, the ocean is the feminine aspect, because what you're doing is you're moving more towards the feminine psyche of your being, because you're connecting to the rhythms of the moon and the water. And so you're really getting in touch with your feminine aspects of your masculinity, and that would make sense after having been so grounded on dry land. So kind of this is like what I feel about what I've been listening to, and some thoughts, random thoughts that I have about some of the facts that have been brought up.
So what I hear you saying, Neil, is number one, that the culmination of International School of Temple Arts with Sedona is bringing about a heart-based sexual communicative language that's being explored, expanded, and maybe even redefined. That's what I hear you saying.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it, Andrew. Yes, I would say that resonates.
Awesome. Do you agree with that? Are you okay with that, Dez?
Yeah. No, that sounds all really cool. There's so many different systems, and it's interesting because even though my base has been there, it's where I have a closet and some boxes of things there. I'm actually traveling quite a bit, so I'm not really actually quote unquote living there other than a month out of the year. And it's interesting because I actually lived next to the ocean most of my life, so being out in the desert was a powerful shift and change for me for the probably close to 15 years that I was basing and living there. So yeah, I just miss the ocean. I miss the warm waters. I miss surfing and paddling canoe and swimming. It's hard to do that in Arizona.
Yeah, no kidding. I heard that big time. Monica, what are you picking up? Thanks, Neil. Go ahead.
Well, as Neil's talking, I keep getting shown the past, and I guess maybe I'm here to speak about the past lives, because this is what I pick up strongly for all of this connection. Is it Nikki?
Yes.
Nikki and Dez both have had past lives together, so it's only suiting that they come together in this life and do this. The pictures that I was being shown is so many different forms that they have been together in past life. But Dez was the one I was just being shown life after life after life after life, that you've been doing this in so many past lives. This is second nature to you, first nature to you. This has been done, I lost count after 10, in different forms that you have been doing this. I think that this, once you're finished with this lifetime, this will be it. You're going to leave this beautiful legacy for people. I was almost in tears, just the images that I was seeing. I could see you on the ocean. That will be home. So if you're planning on definitely moving, that I definitely see you with your feet planted in the sand. I'm saying by next April. If you're going to be taking a break, that's when I actually see you, hands up, water coming to you, feet in the ground, by next April. This is going to be huge. I only see that this is going to be bigger and better for you guys, and is just going to keep growing and growing and growing. So I'm excited for you.
Me too. Sounds good.
Okay, awesome, Monica. And let me ask you this, both Neil and Monica, if you want to tap into Nikki, and how do you pick her up right now in terms of all this process?
Well, Nikki's dialogue, she considered herself the hub of the wheel, and that to me is the center of the chakra. Now, of course, if I'm going to really expand on Nikki's psyche, I'd have to, I'd look at her birth date and look at her karma and transcendence. But she's kind of saying, I want to be excused from this maternal world. I want to give it to other people so that we can have this shared experience. So I think that will move Nikki into a rebirth of sorts, to where she can connect to her inner child and not feel so, physically responsible for the center at large.
She has a big old smile on her face because she knows you're right, Neil. But that's the other point. Go ahead, Monica.
Are you planning on moving as well, Nikki?
I am open to it.
Well, honey, get ready, because I see you moving.
Yeah.
Although I see you going south, like South America. Do you have any connections or anything going on there? Because I see you going south.
I have connections to anywhere within 20 degrees of the equator.
There you go. For some reason, I'm picking up Costa Rica, and I'm picking up Belize. So I see that actually by the end of the year.
Those would be my two choices.
Oh. Let me know, Sister Chick, because I'm going that way too.
Okay. Build a community.
I do think I feel like there was, and I think once you're there, you'll be able to take a big sigh of relief. For some reason, I feel like there's, I don't know, like a worry or something, and you're just waiting to just be, wow, okay. But I see really, really big things happening for you as well, and it's just beautiful. I mean, the images that I see, and for you, and like I said, with the relationships that you've had with Dez in the past, I'm just like, wow, this was like, a beautiful love story that just keeps continuing on. So it was just really beautiful and very moving.
And how many other lifetimes did you pick them up together so far that you can tell?
I lost track. I mean, it was many, many, many. I saw husband and wife, brother and sister, father, daughter. I saw twins a couple of times. I saw teachers, friends. So many different aspects that I saw them in, but they were always. There was a deep connection there. I never saw any kind of turmoil or or anything like that. It was just a very. How did you put that earlier before the show? Ease and flow. That it was a very easy kind of relationship. So to see it again in this lifetime, it's amazing that I always think it's just so beautiful that when we come back, we find the person that we've had the past life with again. That just completely, it's just mind-boggling if you think about it.
That's cool. Hey, I love hearing what you're sharing, and I think it's an interesting phenomenon that as human beings, when we find that place in our lives where we're able to tap into the ease and flow, what I call the divine thread, and we're able to start living that way, and then you encounter people in different levels of consciousness where they're so wrapped up in the pain and the suffering and the struggle and the victimhood and all that other kind of stuff. And that's really what we're attempting to do here, is we're just wanting to invite the rest of humanity to find that ease and flow and let go of that addictive, dysfunctional neurology that's conditioned and patterned towards pain and suffering and struggle.
Bravo, Dez, and I applaud you, all of you, for the work that you're undergoing and the direction you're going and the commitment that you have for that process, because you're not just speaking for just yourselves. I understand that. You're speaking for a whole lot of people out there that need a voice, and a lot of them don't have that voice because of where they're at. And I know your work is important, and I applaud you, and I thank you for that.
Well, thank you for your work, and also thanks to the other individual. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. The psychics. It's like your work is important, and all of our work is important. And really, it's just divine consciousness moving through us all if we allow it. And it's easy. There's no trying anymore. It's just allowing and asking that simple question: where can I serve? How can I create more ease and peace on the planet? And if we all just keep asking that question and move out of that reactive place of separation, competition, fear, jealousy, those are all human things, and we need to be aware and we need to honor and bring love to those things, but we don't need to allow those things to run the show.
Absolutely. Well, Neil, Monica, is there anything else you guys want to add to any of this? Go ahead. Don't speak at once now.
Well, I think there's several different layers that we're working on in terms of how this manifests in action, and the attitude of how we get into our sexuality with breath or with consciousness, how we dialogue our emotions, and how we interconnect with people. Sometimes we have this ideal position we can get into when it's trained and concrete in the environment that we produce. But as we go out into the world, we tend to lose our fabric. We tend to lose that fiber of consciousness, and we become so reduced by the trials of life that we forget how to be centered. So I think the focus of this is what I'm hearing from Nikki and Dez, is how to be central, how to get in touch with our sexuality, and how much it means to us in terms of how it morphs into other expressions of life. But the core issue, yes, is that, because that's the core issue of existence. And everything is built upon conception, because that's what it is. It's one person, two people, three people, and then pretty soon you have a community. And when you have a community that's like-minded and absolutely in that collective unconsciousness of activating energy into the earth, then we have a beautiful moment of recognition.
Awesome,
and I think that's what I'm hearing from these two individuals.
Now, let me ask both of you.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was just going to echo that. It's that moment of we're actually remembering who we are, and we're remembering that thread and that fabric, and of course then we're tested and tempered, because then we forget and we remember until we don't forget anymore, and then we're embodied consciousness, and it's that place of where life starts moving through us with consciousness rather than moving through us through some container that's unconscious.
Through ego.
Yeah, I think we need to internalize the internal aspects of existence, and that internal aspect of existence is also absolutely external to our consciousness until we have internalized it.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's great, Neil. I love that framing.
Now, let me ask you, Neil and Monica, we've talked about the future of Dez and also Nikki. What do you guys pick up in terms of the future of ISTA and also the Sedona School of Temple Arts?
Go ahead, Monica.
Hello, can y'all hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay. I see that it's only going to grow. I see it expanding. I really do see it expanding, and more people are going to become aware of it and hunger for this knowledge and, be consumed by it, because, people are turning away from conventional medicine and going into the alternative healing arts. And, I have a lot of people that come to me more and more because they're looking for something else. They're looking for that higher consciousness. They're looking for that higher love. They're looking for another way to feel like they belong here. And so with that, I see it growing. I actually feel it with every fiber of my being that it's growing, and much success. And congratulations that, you
90 seconds.
We're starting this because you have paved the way.
One thing I'd like to add in a quick moment, they've existed kind of since 2007. Now, basically, it's been 4 years. Now, remember that 4 and 8. So it's been 4 years that this institution has been there formally. The next 4 years are going to be expanding into a whole different phase of the movement of this and the evolution
60
of this
seconds.
Conception here.
And with that in mind, Neil, my suggestion is movies. Thank you very much. Anyhow,
I'd like to invite you to come to the conference. Come to the conference in May.
There you go.
Well, I don't know if they want to. I'm sure they're welcome to. I think Monica said she had some other plans, but those could always change. Anyhow, we only got a few seconds. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for helping me initiate this new show, the Golden Age Psychic Travel Show, and I want to thank Gabe here for shooting it, and I appreciate all you guys being here. Have a goddess weekend. Be the love that you are, always have been, and always will be.
10 seconds.
Aloha.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.